Hello, I'm Cindy Radican, and this is Val Singleton, and we are doing our Week 3 video report out. We've had a great time in this session at AEL, and have really learned so much. Our brains are just spinning. But this is our last report, and I'm going to start by asking Val the question. Val, how will you approach the student learning objectives with your Child Development 252 course?
So Monday I worked on the objectives. I actually had that as a personal goal or a personal thing that I wanted to explore more when we came into Academy. So it was really interesting to look at both the GE SLOs as well as the program goal SLOs and the course-specific ones. So my main focus with those is to look at the adjectives and look at how we're asking students to show that they know something or show that they have a skill or a value. And so I'd like to look more at those adjectives and spend some time really looking at the comparison between what I'm doing in class and how it's actually described as we're getting that information from students.
Great. How do you think you'll incorporate peer-to-peer learning?
I'm very excited about this part. I'm very excited. The room arrangement has changed in my classroom. So it used to be all in rows, which is great for tests, not so great for group work. So over the summer, someone changed it around, and we got new desks, which is also another piece, and they're in small groups now, and they're groups of 4 or 5. I think there's one group of 6, which I'll have to break up in my opinion, but thinking about doing more small group stuff, more interactive, more real-life learning. I love the idea that Kim had in different ways of putting her students in groups. I will be also using peer mark in some form or another, whether that be written form or online, to give students the opportunity to revise a paper that has some issues that I shouldn't have to work through, that they should be able to do with their peers. So I'm really looking forward to that. So Cindy, assessment side, what are you thinking for assessment on how we're doing?
Well, we got a lot of time to talk about this. I really appreciated the time where we got to talk about it. And we had already been using this course, Child Development 252, as an entry level. And we collect data, and have been for a couple of semesters, that then we compare to a senior level course with the same tests. And so we're going to continue that. We'll continue to refine it. But we also had the idea of, we're trying to find a way to evaluate attitudes, dispositions, values, that kind of part. And so we came up with the idea of using clickers, but not particularly assigned to each student. So we only need group data, and we're really looking at things like how attitudes change about things like parenting and spanking and those kinds of things. And so I'm really excited about the anonymous way to use clickers and then ask those questions as we go along. So that's really the biggest part for me.
So classroom learning spaces, we spent a lot of time in a really cool classroom.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the most awesome redesigned space could be for you?
What I really am excited about, and you talked about the change in the room for 252, and that's a room that we use a lot for other classes, is I think it's really important for the faculty member to be able to walk around and in between and get behind students and all those kinds of things. And looking at the learning space stuff, I'm really excited about that. And with the new desks that we purchased and the design that someone set up, some angel came in and set up, we can do that. I really liked the classroom we were in for AEL. I think that's great. And I like the way that there's not just one place to look, but there's a lot of places where people look. I like the idea that if students' computers were plugged in, we can see where everybody is, if people are on different parts of the PowerPoint and all that kind of stuff. So I think we're getting closer and closer. Val, you had an idea about...
I love the Coliseum or the stadium idea, having it be a circular classroom, having some way that students could look at what I would call the Jumbotron in the middle and see a PowerPoint or a video or something from any point in the room. It wouldn't have to be staggered like stadium seating. It could be a flat classroom, and the instructor could be in the middle walking around, or they could be seated. And so it creates more of a collaborative feel. It's more everyone's on an equal playing field, and you're just you're all learning from each other. You can all see each other. You're not looking at the back of people's heads, which I don't like as a student. So that would be my dream classroom.
Great. So thanks for
Thank you.
all this knowledge.
We
We're
had
very
so
excited.
much fun.
Bye.